Hello students, how are you? Hope you all are healthy and safe at your home. I am Shweta Jain representing Shiv Jyoti Educational Group Kota. So children, today I am here to teach you Science chapter number 12, Air, Water and Weather. So children, today we will study the part 1 of this chapter and rest of the part we will discuss in our next video lecture. So we will start today with part 1 of this chapter. All of you open your books, chapter number 12, Air, Water and Weather, page number 97. So children, in this part you will learn about properties of air, what are the different properties of air, then what air contains, means what things are present in air, uses of air, water. So up to this much we will study today, and rest of the part, that is weather and seasons, we will discuss in our next video lecture. So let us come to your book now. So children, we need food to eat. We need water to drink. Both these help us to stay alive. Similarly, we need air to breathe in. Air helps us to stay alive. All the living things can survive only in presence of air. Okay. Air is present all around us. We cannot see, smell or taste air, but we can feel it when it moves. And all living things need air to survive. So children, there are so many activities around us which requires air, like flying of kites, birds fly in the air. If you fill a balloon, then what you fill inside it? You fill air inside it. So there are so many things which need air. So let us do this activity which is given in your book. It is, look at the picture below and write down names of 5 things that need air. One has been done for you. Here you have seen human being. So here it is written human being. So similarly, you have to write the names of 5 things from this picture. So here we can see that this kite is flying in the sky, by the help of which it is flying? Air. So we will write here kite. Then you can see here windmill. This windmill moves by the help of air. So we will write here windmill. Then birds are flying in the sky, by the help of what they can fly? They can fly by the help of air. So 4th thing we have written here, birds. Similarly, you can see this girl is filling the balloon. So how it is filling the balloon? By the air. She is giving the air from her mouth into the balloon. So we have written at 5th number balloon. So these are some of the things which require air. Now we come to properties of air. So children, properties of air are: air occupies space, air gives shape to things like balloon and football, air has mass. So these are some of the properties of air. So let me show you how. Now children, you can see that this is an inflated balloon. Now when I fill this balloon, what I am doing over here, I am filling it. Now I have filled it with air. What is there inside this balloon now? Air is there inside this balloon. So let us talk about the first property. It is air occupies a space. So initially this balloon was like this, but whatever space is available inside this balloon, it is now occupied by the air and it has increased in size. Second property is air gives shape to things like balloon and football. So similarly, now you can see this is the shape of the balloon initially when it is inflated, but as we filled it, the shape changes. So air has given a particular shape to this balloon. Then the third property is air has mass. So children, if we weigh this balloon and this balloon, then there will be the difference in the mass. And why this difference is there? Because this balloon has air which is additional. okay, because this balloon, it do not have any air inside it, so it will weigh lesser as compared to this balloon because it has air inside it, so air has mass. So children, these are some of the properties of air. Now we come to next, what air contains. So children, air is a mixture of gases. It contains oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen and water vapor. We breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Plants use carbon dioxide to make food and give out oxygen. So here the different components of air or what air contains is, it contains different gases. Air is called mixture of gases. So let us see what are these gases. First of all, the very important gas present in air is oxygen, and this oxygen is required by all living things to stay alive or to survive. Secondly, there is carbon dioxide. Now this carbon dioxide is used by plants to make their food, and we all depend on plants for our food. So it is again an important gas. Then it also contains nitrogen, and beside nitrogen it has water vapor. So children, here water vapor is the gaseous form of water. You have studied about this in your previous chapters also. So water vapor is gaseous form of water which is also present in the air. Some more things which air contain are dust, smoke and germs. Chimneys of factories and vehicles give out lots of smoke which mixes with the air. Dust, smoke and germs make the air dirty, and dirty air can make us sick. So children, what can make us sick? If the air is dirty and we inhale the dirty air, then we can become sick. So here, how air becomes dirty? Due to the presence of dust, smoke and germs. So these were the things which were present in air. So children, as I have told you that air contains water vapor, so there is one experiment to show you that air contains water vapor. Now what I am doing over here, this is an empty glass. Now you can see there are no drops of water around it. Now when I put some ice into it, just have a look over here. This, I am putting some ice into this glass of water. Now I will keep it aside for some time, then we will see what will happen. So children, let us see what happens after some time. Now see, previously this glass was dry, but as we have put ice into it, now what happens? The air surrounding this glass has water vapors. Now the surface of this glass is cool because of the presence of ice. So when water vapor comes in contact with the glass, they start settling down here due to becoming cool. These water vapors, when they become cool, they start to condense, okay, and they are now being converted into drops of water. So you can see here outside the glass there are so many drops of water which has arrived. So children, this shows that water vapor is present in air. So now we come to the next topic, that is uses of air. So all living things need air to breathe. Plants need air to make their food. Air helps in drying things such as wet clothes and wet surfaces. Balloons, football and tires are filled with air. So these are some of the uses of air. So children, now let us come to our next topic, that is water. So water is important for the survival of all living things. We can use water for many purposes. So children, just like air and food, water is also required for the survival of all living things. And water is required for several other activities also. So let us do this question given over here. Write down any 4 uses of water. So 4 uses of water are drinking, cleaning, washing and bathing. So now let us start with water cycle. So children, there are 3 forms of water, that is water exists in 3 different states of matter. These are solid, liquid and gas. Now you can see ice, it is the solid form of water, then the drinking water, it is the liquid form of water, and water vapor, which is in form of steam, is the gaseous form of water, and water changes its form on heating and cooling. It means when we heat the ice, it will start melting and will convert into liquid form. Similarly, when we heat the liquid, it will start changing into gaseous form, that is steam. So let me show you how this happens. So children, these are the three states of water. Water exists as solid in the form of ice, it exists as liquid in form of drinking water, and it exists as gas in form of steam, and all these forms are interchangeable. You can see this is the solid form. When we heat or we provide it hotter environment, it will start melting. Now you can see here this has a start melting. Okay, you can see it is converted into water drops. This is the liquid form of water, and when we heat this liquid form, then steam comes out of it. This steam is the vapor form of water. See children, we can collect this steam over here on this plate. You can see these drops of water. These drops of water are showing water vapor, which is the gaseous form of water. When they touches this plate, they get converted into liquid form. So these are the different states of water and the changes of states of water. So children, same principle is used in water cycle, which is operating in nature. So now we will discuss water cycle. So before we start with water cycle, I want to explain some terms to you. These are, the first term is evaporation. So children, it is the process by which liquid changes into gas on heating. So here, by the process of evaporation, liquid form of water can be changed into gaseous form, that is water vapor. Second term here is condensation. So condensation here is the process by which gases changes into liquid forms. When gases are cooled down, they get converted into liquid form of water. So here, water vapor when changes into drops of water, the process involved is condensation. And the third process here is called precipitation or rainfall. So children, in the sky, when tiny droplets of water, they combine together, they fall down. So this falling down of water is called as rainfall or precipitation. So now all these terms we will be using in water cycle. So let us come to water cycle. So children, here this is water cycle. Now you can see this is the water body where water is present. Now this water is called as surface water, and water body can be anything. It can be lake, ocean, sea, pond, anything. Okay. Now what happens over here? Now see children, the water present on these water bodies, when heated up by the sun's heat, it get converted into gaseous form, that is water vapor, and the process here is called evaporation. So by the process of evaporation, this water which was present on the surface of water bodies, it get converted into water vapor, and this happens by the sun's heat. Now when it converted into water vapor, it rises up. When it rises up, it reaches to the sky or the above levels of the atmosphere. Now when it reaches to sky, it forms cloud. This process is called condensation. So how clouds are formed over here? When this water vapor reaches to higher levels, it starts cooling. So when it is cooled, it forms clouds. So this process of cooling of water vapor is called as condensation. Now here in the clouds, when very tiny drops of water they combine together to form bigger drops, then they start falling down. You can see here, these are falling down, and this falling down is called as rain or precipitation. So this is the third part of water cycle. So children, now in this way the water come back to the water bodies. So it is a complete cyclic process. Water, it was evaporated from the surface of water bodies. Then it has moved up to form clouds by the process of condensation, and then again it is returned back to the water bodies by raining or rainfall. So children, this is called as water cycle. So children, this way water cycle operates in nature, and this change of water from one form to another in nature continues, and this is called as water cycle. So children, now you have understood what is water cycle? Okay, so this was all about the explanation part of this chapter. This is the part 1 of this chapter. Rest we will be discussing in our next video lecture, but before that we will do some definitions. So children, this definition you have to do in your copy. So do it in your school notebook and put the red margins properly with ruler, and do your work neatly with a good handwriting. So how you have to do it? Put the name of the chapter, then heading of the chapter, and then write define. So define here is weather, the condition of air at a particular place and time. So what is weather here? The condition of air at a particular place and time. So children, you have to do this work in your copy, and rest of the copy work which we will discuss in our next video lecture, you have to do in continuation with this. Okay children? So that's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.